use your God power to get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin. In this next video example, I demonstrate the normal effects of hot molten lead on a hot dog. Video example, hot molten lead poured on hot dog. What is this video about? This is a demonstration video of what kind of damage would normally occur to a person who poured hot molten lead in their mouth. Of course, this is a demonstration that is being performed in a different reality than that experienced by the man in the example above. The lead is first heated until it reaches the molten liquid state. Then it is poured onto a hot dog to demonstrate how the extreme heat of the molten lead almost instantly cooks the hot dog, and in fact burns it beyond recognition in a matter of minutes. Let's look at this illustration here. Normal reality. In the physical meaning, hot dog is made of flesh. Then you have the physical meaning, 621 degrees Fahrenheit burns flesh. Okay. Then you have the physical meaning that you have the molten lead, 621 degrees Fahrenheit, on the hot dog. What do you get? Just exactly what you think you get. You get a hot dog that's severely burned. Just that simple. That's the normal reality. That's the reality that most of us experience because of our own beliefs. That's what we experience. What does this example show and what does it mean? This video example demonstrates that the only way that the man featured in the story above could have survived his own demonstration is if he was operating in his own different reality that bent the laws of physics, allowing him to accomplish this amazing feat. Lead, like the lead weights you use when you go fishing, melts into a molten state at about 621 degrees Fahrenheit. Water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. That means that this man had a mouthful of hot molten lead that was 3 times hotter than boiling water. He held it in his mouth until it cooled enough to be removed in one solid piece. This is absolute evidence that he existed in his own reality, one in which the laws of physics operated differently than what science suggests it should. Otherwise, his mouth and tongue would have looked like the hot dog in the video demonstration above. These feats could not be performed if the body were real. Molten lead shot would at least crack your teeth and cook your tongue like a steak on a grill. But since the body is only a representation, like an animated physical picture, and we have the ability with our God power to change the meaning associated with our own representation, then there's no limit to what we can do. The process here is quite simple. Like the placebo in the doctor's office, the meaning of the hot lead was that it wasn't hot. It may have been cold or nothing at all. It could have tasted like candy. It doesn't matter. Nothing has a meaning that is fixed and unchangeable by us with our God power. Only the animal kingdom experiences a fixed reality. You couldn't pour hot molten lead shot into an animal's mouth without cooking his entire mouth region and no doubt resulting in death. However, by the same token, you couldn't put the hot molten lead in anyone else's mouth either without the same result. Not because they couldn't accomplish and do what these men could do, but because they don't know that they can do it. And therefore, they cannot. You can only do what you think you can do. That is your reality. But not everyone thinks the same as you. Therefore, we all have different realities. In this next example, a man was able to plunge a sword into his abdomen on a regular basis as part of his act. I don't mean to say that he did it as an illusion. He actually stuck the sword through his flesh and through his inner organs as part of his performance. Just remember that just because you are seeing some trick or amazing act being performed in front of an audience doesn't mean that it is an illusion. It could be real. Marin Vejo, in public performances at the Corso Theatre in Zurich, left audiences stunned. In plain view, he would have an assistant stick a fencing foil completely through his body, clearly piercing vital organs, but causing him no harm or pain. When the foil was removed, he did not bleed, and only a faint red line marked the spot where the foil had entered and exited. His performance proved so nerve-wracking to his audiences that eventually one spectator suffered a heart attack, and he was legally banned from performing in public. However, a Swiss doctor named Hans Ostjord learned of his alleged abilities and asked him if he would submit to scientific scrutiny. He agreed, and on May 31st, 1947, he entered the Zurich Cantonal Hospital. In addition to Dr. Ostjord, Dr. Werner Bronner, the chief of surgery at the hospital, was also present, as were numerous other doctors, students, and journalists. He bared his chest and concentrated, and then in full view of the assemblage, he had his assistant plunge the foil through his body. As always, no blood flowed, and he remained completely at ease. But he was the only one smiling. The rest of the crowd had turned to stone. By all rights, his vital organs should have been severely damaged, and his seeming good health was almost too much for the doctors to bear. Filled with disbelief, they asked him if he would submit to an X-ray. He agreed, and without apparent effort, accompanied him up the stairs to the X-ray room, the foil still through his abdomen. The X-ray was taken, and the result was undeniable. He was indeed impaled. Finally, after a full 20 minutes after he had been pierced, the foil was removed, leaving only 2 faint scars. Later, he was tested by scientists and Basel, and even let the doctors themselves run him through with the foil, and later related the entire case to German physicist Alfred Stelter, and Stelter reports it in his book, Psi Healing.
Options. Now activating the next video, play options. 1 moment please. Click on the green arrow to start watching the next video. Or, click on the red arrow to start watching the prior video. Or, click on the tan arrow to go to the main course menu and guide, with links to all course chapters, excerpts, and special reports. Up next, special video options. Click on your choice of course videos, menus, and excerpts. Now switching to the special video options menu and activating the video selection buttons. Click on your selection number to start watching the video. "15 seconds till we switch to the next page with the free download information. Pause the video now if you need more time to review the available selections." This is the end of this course video. Its video number is listed above. To watch the next video, simply click on the next video in number sequence. Thank you.